Okay, that's a little strange, but it's cool. Um, I saw some really cool things the other day about development. I've been messing around on YouTube a lot. I laugh because most people probably use YouTube for things like the barking cat or, the farting chicken or something like that, which is cool and it's pretty funny. But the shock jock stuff after a while gets old because there's a lot of cool stuff on YouTube about life and how to talk and be a better person and share yourself and your feelings with the world. And I laugh because one time I was watching a thing on YouTube, and Jay-Z was talking about how, with the internet being what it is and technology being what it is, that pretty much anybody can put their ideas out there, and where they may not have ever been seen or known about before, now they can reach millions of people who feel the same way and want to support what they're doing, which I thought was really cool. Um, and it got me thinking about playing with this idea and having some fun with it. No formalities, no, oh, I must have the GQ perfection and make millions of dollars and all that kind of shit. I mean, oh, by the way, I do occasionally cuss, so you might want to get used to that. Um, I'm kind of a unique character because I'm very deeply spiritual when it comes to things like behaving properly in society. Um, but I'm a walking dichotomy because I also don't like formality a lot. I do like to play and go back and forth between things like being extremely proper and being crass and base because I think that you really get a better effect when they're played in their proper points. Some people like to be crass and be assholes all the time, and then some people like to be extremely proper and everything is GQ perfect and almost OCD all the time. And I don't think anything but balance is best. And sometimes you need a book on Gandhi just like you need a book on Hitler. And, you know, I think one for how high a person can be and how low and despicable they can be. And so, I think you learn from both sides of the coin, and there are things to be taken away from what is bad and things to be taken away from what is good, both to keep and to discard. Um, uh, I spent a lot of time learning some martial arts like Kung Fu. So big shout out to my original sensei, Ron Wilkerson, and the Chilean Kung Fu Academy here in Institute, West Virginia. Now I live in St. Albans and I'm much older, but it was a very enjoyable and formative time in my life. Um, I've had a few things in my life that were very formative and transformative for me. Um, the three things that come to mind right now is my grandmother, because my grandmother was a deeply spiritual and religious person. She was a Christian woman who definitely believed in talking to God every day, living by the Bible, and being a person of quality and kindness and skill, especially when it came to dealing with people. My great grandfather was also a part of that influence, and that's a story I'll save for another time when I'm actually practicing for real. Practicing for real. Anyway, um, another time was the martial arts training that I've gotten over the years from various people. It's allowed me to make incredible friends. It's allowed me to connect with people in a way that is more deep. And I say that because I've read some places and I've talked to people who have served in the military. Because some of my family are military, and there's a bond that sometimes is formed during combat with people when your life is on the line and you have to depend on each other, that becomes extremely close. You also see it in sports like football, where they have a very deep, close bond because they strive together. Martial arts allowed me to do that with a lot of different people, and I really enjoyed it, and still do. I have friendships with these people even now, even though some of us don't even actively practice anymore. Um, but, we were like family because we were learning something together that had an element of danger, but also was very physically demanding. And we had to kind of cheer each other on, trust, and rely on each other. Um, the third thing that comes to mind right now about a formative years thing was I used to be a salesman for a company called Circuit City, and some of you may remember them, and some of you may not. You may see the web pages that are up sometimes for them. I don't know if they are completely still operating in business or if they're online sales only, but they were a very transformative time in my life, or a section of my life, because they really invested in the person in their very beginning stages. Um, we went to amazing amounts of learning classes. We had role plays and practice about how to talk to people, how to overcome objections, how to deal with the day-to-day requirements of the job. Um, I learned a lot from them, and I made some really good friendships there. Um, I don't see as many of the people today, but in our little store here in West Virginia, it was just a very unique situation in my mind, because it came at a time when it was almost like the golden age of selling. Commissions were still the order of the day, and we were taught how to go after them, and to be very skilled and um, give a quality product as far as service. Um, Also, very much so, I was thrust into a group of people who were at least at, and many above, my caliber in terms of my salesmanship skills, because I had been selling before this, but that salesmanship skills that I learned there and the people that I was around forced me to another level of willingness to serve, and ability and willingness to develop some sort of skill. So that will always be a very transformative portion of my life, and a portion that I can easily talk about for a while, because there were many things that went on there. There were some scabby things that went on there, some crazy things that went on there, and some very good things that went on there. And I've never forgotten most of the people that I worked with there. And it was one of the few jobs that I can say that, even though it was at times challenging and difficult, I absolutely loved. And I made some decisions to further my career, or my perception of my career, uh, that allowed me to not maintain that job. And there are days when I was truly sad to see it go and to see the company change. Um, so those are three things that helped me to shape my life and transform my life. And of course, God, I've met so many people along the way. I've met people that have encouraged me. Met people that were haters. I've met people that were skeptical. I've met people that were condescending. All of these people tend to bring out something in you if you're willing to look for it. You don't have to like it. You really don't. And sometimes you're just not gonna. Let's face it, dude. You're talking about sometimes people who will wipe you out. They will pick every possible fault they can find with you. They will decry your ability, decry the product, decry the potential and the possibility in the market for some of the things that you're interested in. They'll tell you you shouldn't want your dreams. They'll give you all the reasons why you can't make it. But you also run across in that process sometimes people who see the good in you even when you don't see it in yourself. They encourage you to grow. They encourage you to be. They encourage you to, try and never give up, and to believe in yourself. And sometimes that's by believing in you. Um, and I've found that those people have been helpful. I heard something the other day. I can't remember who said it, but they were talking about writing down the thing. Oh, Eric Thomas, E.T., hip hop preacher. He does a lot of things with, I guess, motivational speaking for sports. And I've seen him do some other things, and I'm very much a fan of his style, because it's more down to earth and very passionate. So when he gets excited, he's talking and he's letting you know, and he's doing this, and it's really kind of cool. It's a little over the top for some people, because that's where different styles and things are going to come in for different people. Like, everybody isn't going to like what I do. Okay, everybody isn't going to like the way I say it. but they may like, say, Louise Hay, or they may like Jim Rohn, or they may like Anthony Robbins, or whoever, Oprah. I mean, whoever. Um, that's going to get across to them, and that's really what the whole quest is about. For those of us who are interested in speaking and interested in doing, is we want the message out there. Um, I watched a movie a while back. It's called Drumline. It has Nick Cannon in it when he was younger. And one of the quotes in the movie that I always liked, as far as epitomizing team play, was that you preferred the sound of the line over the sound of your own drum. And I think when you're in the business of changing lives and personal development, you have to be willing to like the sound of the line more than the sound of your own drum. I think that goes without saying for anything that your dreams are about. Whether it's to get the message out about something that you're passionate about, encourage people to think differently, encourage people to pick themselves up and become something better. I mean, all that stuff is available out there. So I really think that that's the most important thing. And I think that it's very much what is necessary to, because again, there are going to be some people that love the way I do this, the way I talk, the way my style, my smile, whatever. So there are people that may even like this highlight reel the way it looks right now, which is kind of me being like really relaxed. You know, but there are also going to be people who are going to prefer the days that I show up in a suit and tie and I speak with clarity of purpose. And there are going to be people that are going to like the days that I'm kind of like pictures worth 1,000 words. So I'm talking really fast and I'm just trying to get it out there. And then there are going to be people who prefer the way that I speak when I take my time with my words and give the words a feeling rather than just an auditory, distinct tone, versus people who are excited and just want me to get it out there. So, anyway, I'm going to stop the highlight reel here and kind of review what I've got going on and see how I look and how I'm talking to the camera, and just going to play today and see what's going on. So, thanks guys for listening. I appreciate it, and I will see you on the flip side, as they say.